How are you doing, Brig, on this opening day of Major League Baseball?
The Yankees won at home in the shadowy afternoon. It was great. It was not a sure thing, which was even better because then we got to see some real production in some tight spots for some guys that we need answers for them anyway. I am loving it. If BYU could hit some threes or shut down some threes, that'd be great.
I
That's it.
had to
But I'm
stop
here
watching that
because
game.
this is more important.
There we go. Yeah, I have been watching baseball all day long, and I'm in love. I'm so happy. I love
Me
meaning
too.
like actual baseball games, not pretend. Like as much as I love spring training, it scratches the itch, but there's nothing like regular season baseball. And by the time the season ends, I'm gonna be ready for postseason. But here we go. We're gonna buckle up. We're gonna get into it, and it's gonna be very exciting and a whole lot of fun. But before we get too far into this stuff that we're doing today, baseball family, I want to remind you about two things. First, let's talk about Chinook Seedery. Chinook Seedery has the best seats ever, and you can get them at a discounted price. 10% off your order at chinookseedery.com. Use code BTPOD at checkout. Like I said, it'll save 10% while supporting the show, supporting your wallet, and all at the same time, supporting your mouth. Again, with the best seats ever. We love them so much that we reached out to them actually to get this partnership, and it's been great for everyone involved. Um, and while you're getting
I've been chewing
seats,
Hatch chili today.
oh, they're so good. I
Opening day,
buzzed
I broke
through.
the rule with Hatch chili, and
He did. I
it's
buzzed
been
through some
great.
smokehouse barbecue today like I was an absolute buzzsaw Brig. Like so fast.
That's awesome.
But if you need a place to hold your seeds, which I know most of you do, head over to seed-sack.com. Use the code baseball the number 2 together. That's baseball together at checkout to save 5% off of a seed sack. Seed sack is the best place to keep your seeds. The absolute best place. It has a self-closing clasp. You pinch it, you open it up, dump them in your mouth, close it up, put it back in your pocket. It's fantastic. I love mine. My son loves his. And Brig, you should get one too because I know you have a seed
It's about
habit.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
it's
about
about
time.
time.
Isn't it about time, Brig? I think it is. But anyway, that's
Oh, hold on.
baseball
Yes, it is.
together at seed-sack.com. There's always a link to the description to all these, a link in the description to all this stuff, just like there's always money, Brig, in the banana stand. Okay,
Always.
now the season has started, the first day, so we need to get into what we like to call our meaningless predictions. We call them meaningless because they're probably going to be down the drain by the time we hit the All Star break for most of these, because that's just kind of how it works, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and make predictions, see how things go, and we're not gonna get too deep into these. Um,
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll go division winners, and then we'll go with uh, our World Series picks, and then our awards winners is what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna end with award winners. So Brig, why don't you go ahead and get started, if you will,
Okay.
with
Yep.
your. We're American League fans, so we're going to start in the American League. Tell me your American League division winners and wild card participants.
Okay. So, in the American League East, as much as it pains me, I'm going to say the Red Sox take the East. Watched them play
Mm.
today. I watched them do the moves they did this offseason. I don't need to justify myself. We've talked about it enough. The Red Sox
Mm-hmm.
are likely to win the AL East as it stands right this minute. Then I've got the Central goes to the Tigers. I've got the Mariners taking it in the West, but by barely, barely. But they're going to do it. Okay. And that's my American League. Those are the division winners, Brad.
Who do you have for wild card teams in the American League?
Okay, this is where things get really, and I'm talking really interesting. So, the Yankees are going to make it in, but they're going to be that like number 4 team, right?
Okay.
I also think that this is where the Royals will slide in. And then it's going to be a real toss up between the Rangers and Cleveland's baseball club. And I honestly am sitting here, do not know which way it's going to fall. But if there was going to be a 7th team, then it would be so much easier. But because it's
Yeah.
been absolutely hard to pin down and meaningless, There's something about the way Kevin Pillar played in the outfield today that made me think that the Rangers may be in better shape than I thought even 24 hours ago. I don't know why. So let's say that Cleveland gets edged out, and my final wild card slot, in no particular numerical order, will go to Texas.
It's funny you bring up Kevin Pillar because I had the opposite feeling after seeing, and I didn't watch much of that game today. What it
Mm-hmm.
was I thought, wow, if you have Kevin Pillar starting for you in the outfield, then you've got some depth issues on your team.
Now I agree with that,
Now, don't get me
but
wrong. I like Kevin Pillar, but
I do
but
too.
he's at that point
But
in his career where I don't necessarily want him as one of my starting outfielders. I want him as a depth piece, come as a pinch hitter,
right,
right? Maybe
yeah, he
platoon with
almost
somebody at this
retired.
point.
Like in what
Right.
was it
Well,
between
he was.
February and
Well,
November?
he
We didn't
was.
think he was even going to play.
Well, he was released by the White Sox last year. Then he landed with the Angels last year. So like those are the teams that he's been playing for. And so
I
I
know.
that's just what I feel like you've got a depth issue if you've got Kevin Pillar in your outfield right now.
Okay, I agree with you, but there was some hustle. There was some
Oh, I'm
mad
not saying he's not
hustle,
gonna. He's of course he's gonna hustle.
but it was
Of course
successful. He was
he's a
effective.
he's a
I was,
pro.
I know, but I was like, whoa, dude. Like there was an absence of hustle on the White Sox last season. Okay, and there is a dearth of hustle in the Angels organization, largely, and so you put him in those situations, and yeah, maybe he's not going to look so great, but maybe with this team, who's got some serious oomph, I don't know. Maybe we'll see something different. I don't know. I'm
I don't
just
know.
saying, he looked better than I
There is
thought.
something about Bochy in every other year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
That's a
But
fact.
in case you didn't notice, I don't have the Rangers making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I can't believe I do. Honestly, meaningless.
All
Go ahead
right.
with
So
yours
I'll
in
start.
the American League.
Okay, American League in the East, I have the Red Sox winning as well. I and I don't think they're going to run away with it. I think it's going to be
Mm-mm.
a lot closer than the East has been. Like it's going to be a race. The Central, I'm going to go with the Royals.
I knew you
Um,
would.
I like that team break. I
I
like what
know.
they do. I
Rightly
like the way
so.
they're put together. If I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
it, like
Mm-hmm.
that's just the way. And then I'm gonna make my homer pick, and I'm gonna have the Mariners barely winning the American League
Yeah.
West, like last day of the season, is what it's gonna come
Yep.
down to. It's gonna
Yep.
come down to 162, and they might even win via tiebreaker. But I have them winning the division.
Mathematical
So
advantage.
then
Yeah.
my
The
wild
series
cards,
split for
because
June.
yes, my wild cards, Brig. I think all three of these divisions are going to be close. I don't have the Royals running away with it. I don't have the Red Sox running away with it. What it is, it's the teams that are just barely going to miss winning their divisions are all going to make the
Yeah.
playoffs. It's going to be Astros,
Yeah.
Yankees, and Cleveland's baseball club.
There you go. Yep.
Those teams are going to be in a very close second, and it's gonna. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the top is going to be like very narrow between those
Mm-hmm.
six teams, and then there'll be like maybe a 4 or 5 game gap between the next chunk of teams. Right?
Oh, really? See,
That's
I
kind
think
of
it's
the
going
way
to
I
be
see it.
7. I think we'll have 7,
Yeah.
and we'll be like, ah,
Because
and then everybody else.
I still don't know exactly who the Tigers are.
Neither do they, right? We'll
I
see
don't
what
think any of
happens.
us
I don't know.
really know. I know that we saw for like 6 weeks that they were these world beaters who were the team that we thought they were going to be for the rest of the year, but they just weren't. So who's to say that they're going
Yeah.
to be able to put together that same kind of stretch for the rest of this, like going into this season? And I know that's awfully hypocritical because I say the Mariners are going to carry over some offensive momentum from last year, but then to
Yeah,
say that the
you love to
Tigers
say
won't
that.
or can't, I'm just saying I don't know if they're going to, and I don't know if the Mariners are going to. I'm trying to be optimistic as a fan, but anyway.
Fair and fair.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the National League. Who do you have in the National League making winning
So
divisions?
the in the East, it goes to the Phillies. I know, I know, Braves country. I felt the rumble. Okay,
Yeah, a little
the
bit.
Central, I'm giving it to the Cubbies.
Okay.
I'm gonna let them have it. And I think they will. It's gonna be a little bit rough, but I think they're going to get it. And then the Dodgers are going to take the West.
Okay.
That's where it's at. Now, this wild card situation is where things get squirrely. Because that's okay, ready? We are going to see the Diamondbacks are going to be in there. And then this talk about a 17 problem. Then we're going to end up having to fight over the Braves are going to slide in there, but barely. And then and then it's going to be the Padres.
Okay.
Oh, I can't do that. Never mind. I don't know mathematically.
You can't.
I can't have 3 from one division. That's not going to work.
You can.
Well, I'm taking it away. I don't like it. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to like it.
Scratch the Padres. Oh, I can't have the Mets in there now either. Ooh. I love how meaningless this is. Who's that last team going to be? Brad, we're going to.
Who were the first two? Who were the first two you had? You had the Braves and who? And the Diamondbacks?
The D-backs, yeah. So now it's either the Mets or the Padres.
Okay. All right, you want to paper, rock, scissors?
Yeah.
Do you go on shoot or on rock, paper? Like, do you go rock, paper, scissors on shoot?
The fourth beat. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, who am I? Who are you? Who am I? Who are you?
You're the Mets. I'm going to be the Friars. Okay?
Okay, because we're opposite coasts. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Ready? Go.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I did that too.
Okay, ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I'll do it off screen because of the lag. I did that one too.
Let's say the Mets. Let's put the Mets in.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Commendable. And that's a very scientific method of making that happen as well.
That is the scientific method here at my house.
Okay. So here's mine. I have winning the National League East. I have the Phillies.
Mm.
And in the Central, I like the Brewers still.
Fair.
I still like that team. I'm going to take them in the Central. And then in the West, I have to go with the Dodgers, obviously. It's like the safest pick in baseball, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. And then my wild card teams, I have the Diamondbacks. I think they're going to be the top wild card team, but I think they might have the second or third best record in the National League.
Correct.
Like,
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And then I've got the Braves as a wild card team, and the Mets.
Oh.
And the Mets.
We have the same.
We do have the same. I think the Mets are going to make it in by the skin of their teeth. Yeah.
The Mets? Yeah, it's going to be. They're
so close.
Barely.
So close.
Barely.
In fact, I'm going to call it right now, Brig. It's going to take an August run for them to make the playoffs as a wild card team.
Yes. Yep. I agree.
So, got to figure some stuff out with that pitching because I don't trust it.
Nope.
Anywho. Okay.
We shall see. So
we have our playoffs set. Who's making it to the World Series? Who is in your World Series, Brig?
Ugh. It is going to be. I don't like this game. This is not fun.
We do this twice a year, Brig.
No, I understand. I don't have any.
We're gonna do it again in July.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. Let's see. I am going to send. I'm going to send the Diamondbacks from the National League. Yeah.
Against?
And they are not going to have to beat LA to get there. Somebody else will.
Oh, so you have the Dodgers losing in the division series.
I think so.
Did you see, by the way, did you see Mookie Betts is playing tonight?
No, he's alive. That's wonderful.
He's alive, playing, and his jersey wasn't baggy. I thought it was going to look a little bit bad. So I did. Yeah. His eyes did look just like a touch sunken, from what I could tell. It was hard to see past like the C guard on his helmet,
Sure.
But yeah, he was playing, and I was shocked.
That is
He didn't
shocking.
the moment because I didn't get to watch a whole lot. The moment that I saw, he didn't have to do a whole lot of running though because Teoscar Hernandez hit a 3-run home run with him on first. So
So he just,
there's that.
that's awesome. Okay. I don't know if they're going to win and if the Dodgers will lose in the division series or if it'll take till the NLCS. I don't know. But I'm
Okay.
sending the D-backs are going to make it back and they are going to have to play. Oh, what do I want? I would love it to be the Mariners. Since it's this early in the season and it doesn't matter, and
Why the
I
heck
should pick
not?
the Red Sox, but I'm gonna pick the Mariners. I'm gonna pick the Mariners. Just
I love that
I
logic
can.
too because why not?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll change my
Well,
answer in
and
July.
the thing that's funny about it, Brig, is we can cut that if it happens in October. We can cut it and take that last part off. He'd be like the Mariners, and they'd be like, Brig called it
Yeah,
back in March.
yeah,
He knew it all
yeah.
along, without a
That's right.
doubt.
Yeah, all of you watching live, you just forget I said that. I didn't qualify it at all.
Okay, so my World
Okay, what about
Series,
you?
I have the Red Sox losing to the Phillies. I think this
Mm-hmm.
is the year they finally get over the hump. When they signed Bryce Harper, I said give them 5 years before
You did.
either they have a World Series or they trade him. And I think that's come and gone. But things have gone much better than I thought they would be if they hadn't won a World Series yet.
Yep.
So actually, yes, they have come and gone. But uh,
Yeah, it
yeah,
has.
so keep them around and keep going because at this point you might as well just keep plugging away because what you're doing is working, and they
Yeah,
could very well eventually get over the hump. And
I
I think
agree.
this is the year that it happens. So there we go. Phillies over the Red Sox
Okay.
in the World Series. Okay,
Nice.
let's move on to major awards. They're
Yeah.
major awards, Brig. Should we start? Let's start with the Manager of the Year. How's that?
Okay. All right.
Okay, who do you have winning Manager of the Year?
For the American League, it's going to Alex Cora.
Okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
I don't even know why.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't even know why.
Mm-mm. Because he's got a talented crop of guys, and it's not like they're going to be like massive bounce back from last year type thing. They're going to outperform last year, but it won't be bottom of
Yeah.
the barrel climbing their way to the mountain top. I can finish that
Hmm.
metaphor. It won't be that dramatic, but I think what will happen is he will have been applauded for his efforts to bring in these young guys like Christian Campbell, for example, and pushed into the most usefulness possible. And that will be what carries him over. He's going to have to do some shuffling and he's going to have to manage some personalities. And that trade deadline is going to be really interesting to see with the Red Sox and what they do. And managing the clubhouse going into the season with already ruffled feathers between Devers and Bregman and the third base situation, that is
Hmm.
interesting. So
It is.
we already know there's drama. If he can manage them all the way to the World Series, come on, manager of the year.
So I think that Bregman is like such a good clubhouse guy because that's one of the things about his reputation is that he is a really great clubhouse guy. I think that he is so good in the clubhouse that I think that he's probably figured out some way to extend an olive branch to Devers with taking his spot.
Oh yeah,
Like I don't know if
I
he
bet.
bought him something or took him to dinner or what, but like I think that he's done something to mend that already, and I don't think it's going to be an ongoing issue. I think the vibes are going to be good in Boston.
I hope so
And I think
for
part of
their
that is going to be
sake.
because of Alex Cora. I
I think
think you're
so
right.
too. If it's
Yeah, I
gonna
think that's
happen, it will be managing all of it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Okay, who do you have in the National League?
Tito,
Tito.
Terry Francona, mm coming in
Despite the
cold
Reds
like
not making the
this.
playoffs.
Yep, he's still gonna be.
Okay, I like it. I like the pick. I would have to have personally. I would have to have the Reds in the playoffs for him to win it.
I mean,
But
you're
that's
right.
just me.
Well, I put these together out of order, so again, this is meaningless.
You're
I
right. It
went
is.
through I went through my awards first, and I was like, yeah, Terry. I just happen to love Terry Francona, so
I know
he's
you
top
do.
of mind, and I'm going to put him up there.
Okay, so for me in the American League, I am gonna make another homer pick. I'm gonna have Dan Wilson winning Manager of the Year, and it's because there's
Ooh,
gonna be such an
good.
offensive turnaround in Seattle. And first year man, he's rookie manager, first
Yep.
year, and then one of the things that I've read this, or actually two things that I've read this off season. One, he has a better grasp on the clubhouse already than Service ever did because the players know that he's a player manager, and when things get tough, he's gonna have their back no matter what.
Yeah.
That it's not like he's not Jerry DePoto's boy, right? That's what I've been saying for
Yeah.
years.
Right.
He's JD's boy. He's not going to fire him. And then
Yeah.
finally he did, and things kind of ticked up. But one of the things that people are talking about is like he's a player's manager. They know that he's going to have their back no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That there's a new offensive philosophy. There's a new offensive, or they're new offensive coordinator. They're not doing the offensive coordinator this year. It makes sense. They have new hitting coach, but Edgar Martinez is still there. And Rowdy Tellez talking about the things that Edgar has taught him as far as his hitting approach. He's like, dude, this guy knows a thing or two about hitting.
That's awesome.
And so the fact that Rowdy Tellez came in and was implementing some of the stuff that Edgar was telling him mid game, he's like, he told him like basically like try to hit a ground ball. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. It's not gonna work. He's like, I hit a rocket back up the middle. He goes, okay, now try is like something like now try to hit. I think it was like try to hit a ground ball the other way, and he's like, I don't do that, but okay, something like that. And he ended up hitting a home run. And he's like, whoa, like what in the world?
This guy. Almost
So
like he's in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, for hitting. I don't know.
That's crazy. That's his whole thing, really?
Yeah. So I think that's going to help, and I think that's going to go a long ways to getting the Mariners into the playoffs, and Dan Wilson will be
Yeah.
American League Manager of the Year. My National League, I have Torey Lovullo because he's going to be in arguably the hardest division to win in the league because they're going to be going up against the juggernaut Dodgers, and the fact
Yep.
that they're going to have, I think they're going to have a great season. The fact that they are
Yep.
going to have as great of a season as they are with that massive shadow looming over them the entire time. I think that Torey Lovullo is going to win it, and I think he's a great
That's
manager anyway. He does such a great job in Arizona.
I
That
like that pick better than Tito. That was nice. That's good. That was really
I
good.
made a couple homer picks. Let's be real, but
Yeah, but
anyway,
you nailed that one.
well, thank you. Okay, Rookie of the Year. Who do you have?
So in the National League, I'm questioning myself, but I'm gonna have Roki Sasaki right now as my National League Rookie of the Year, and I'm gonna have Christian Campbell be in the American League as well.
Hmm.
MLB
Okay.
debuted today, got his first knock today. It was a little questionable based on the ruling, but they gave it to him, and
Mm-hmm.
that was exciting. And I think he seems like nothing phases him. And it was interesting because they interviewed his parents. They always do during the debut. Like, aren't you proud of your kid? And they're like, of course we're proud of our kid. And like, what would you have said if I went back in time and told you? And like, his mom gave the best answer.
What's that?
He said, "Did you ever think you'd see this day?" And she basically, she said very diplomatically, she said, "Of course, yeah. This is what we've been working for his whole life. This is everything he's ever wanted. It came a little sooner than I thought, but did I think it was coming? Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, much more diplomatically than that. But I was like, "Go, mom! You go, mom!" It was like when Snoop said, "And last, I want to thank me." It was like,
Yeah.
"Yes, be honest, man." I was excited about that.
That's the thing that I think is cool is that like there are a lot of parents who blow smoke, right? But when a parent has a
Exactly.
legitimate uh, like a legitimate prospect on their hands, I feel like they know there's something different, and they just understand, right? Like there's a lot of dads out there, especially you see it all on Instagram, all the skits and stuff. Like, yeah, he throws 95. How old is he? He's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Sure.
But like there are
Yeah.
times you see the parents are like, no, he was built different, and we noticed it, and so we helped him work to get here. So I think that's cool. That's
Yeah. It was
awesome.
neat. It was fun. What about you? Rookies of the year.
National League, I got to go Roki Sasaki. Um, I feel like there are guys who come in and they already have like a 50 vote lead because of the hype. Like that was Paul Skeens
Sure.
last year. Paul Skeens could have
Totally.
come up in like September and I feel like
Right.
won the rookie of the year still. Right?
Right.
Not taking anything away from the fact that he is awesome. He's amazing. And we'll get there.
Yeah.
But like I think Roki Sasaki has like a 50 vote lead already and he just has to not wet the bed and he'll be fine and win the world
I
or
agree.
not the win the rookie of the year. American League, I'm gonna go with a lot of the stuff I saw was Cam Smith, but I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna work out. I think I'm gonna go with Roman Anthony with the Red Sox, outfielder, and
Yeah.
for no other reason than I like his name and I've seen good stuff from him, so I liked his numbers that he's put up so far in the minor
Great.
league. So I'm gonna
That's
go
all
with
you
it.
need. You
Gonna
don't
go,
need to
and he's
justify
gonna be
more
in a
than
good
that.
situation. He's gonna be in a really good situation. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
okay,
Okay,
Cy Young.
most valuable player.
Let's
Okay.
go Cy Young first. Then we'll go MVP.
Oh, fine. Okay. The Cy Young for the National League will be Paul Skeens. He's going to win it. He's going to walk away with it. He might even walk away with it by the break. I don't know. We'll see. But it's
They
going
can
to go
probably
to him.
shut
Talk
him
about a
down in
50
September,
point
and he'll
lead.
still win it.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about a 50-point lead. That guy's going to come out cooking. It's
Yeah.
going to be great. He will be joined by repeat winner Tarek Skubal.
Oh, I think Scoob's gonna go back to back.
Yep, he is. He's going to go back to back.
Okay. All right. I'll allow it. Okay. I also have Paul Skeens.
Yep.
He's he's gonna run away with it. It's not even gonna be close.
You're
But
brilliant.
in the American League, I'm gonna go with Walker Bueller.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna
Oh,
win it in Boston.
he
Yeah,
could.
he's
He really
he's
could.
gonna tear things up. That dude is
Yeah.
coming off of the highest of highs, having won the World Series and proven that he is not done,
No.
right? And that, I mean, Garrett Crochet pitched for the Red Sox today, and I think that Walker Bueller to me feels like a guy who might have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder for not getting the opening day start, and so I would not be
Yeah.
surprised to see him take that through the entire season. Just like, no, you know what? It's me.
Okay.
Bang.
All right. That's the choice you wanted to make. Let me show you how you were wrong.
Yep. I'll show you why. I'll show you how because we're gonna win every time I go out on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
If not, have a very good chance of it.
Yeah. I like that.
That's what
I
I
can
see
see it
with
too.
Walker Bueller. Because that guy legitimately plays with an edge.
Oh yeah.
Not everybody
Yeah. When
does, but
he's
he
on,
does.
when he's on, it is laser sharp or
Hmm.
razor sharp. Wow, I can do this. He's razor sharp when he's on, but when he's off, you don't notice. I feel like it's hard to see.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, his stuff
Yep.
doesn't work, and that's one thing, but it's different. Like
Right,
it's
but
almost like his attitude never
he's
falters.
pretty. He has that edge. It's almost like I don't want to say he's like pissed, but he carries an edge to him no matter what.
Yeah.
That like he might be pissed that his stuff's not working, but he looks pissed that he's not
When it's
striking
working.
everybody out when it is working, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah. I agree.
but no, I think he's gonna go out and he's gonna have a great year and he's gonna win Cy Young, American League Cy Young. Okay, MVP.
All right. Most valuable player in the National League will be Shohei Ohtani. The AL MVP will be Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Baseball is going to win the MVP this year.
I have those too.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah, I have Otani just
Okay.
because I don't know how anybody could ever put up a season good enough to dethrone him. And I
Yeah.
also and
Exactly.
Bobby Witt Jr. I think is going to take just enough of a step this year to make it so that nobody else can win the MVP over him. And that's
Yep.
part of the reason I think the Royals are going to win the division. Because I thought Bobby Witt should have come closer to winning it last year, if not win it. Like
I don't want to talk about this.
I know you don't, but man,
Just kidding. There's a case. There's a case to be made.
I think there's a legitimate case for it.
There is.
Yeah.
There
And
is.
I don't know that we have enough time today to get into it or really any day because I got a list as long as my arm, Brig. So
I got two letters. All you need to know. No, I'm just kidding.
and that's part of the argument. Anyway,
I threw up in my mouth just doing that. Okay, like I get it. I know. Good thing it didn't fall upon the peasants below on my tower. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, let's
unbelievable. Okay,
TV
is
broadcast
there?
schedule.
Well, real quick before we do that though, do you have any? Do you have any like bold predictions for this season? I think my boldest prediction is that the Mariners are going to completely turn things around and have a way
Yeah,
better offensive season. Like that's my biggest thing. That a
yeah,
lot of people don't believe in them because they didn't make any moves, but I'm like, you just got to fix it in house and you're good.
yeah. I don't have any really crazy bold predictions. Um, other than the A's are not going to finish last in the division. They're just not. I don't think that's crazy bold, but I
Hmm.
believe that. If you think it's
I believe
bold,
that
great.
too.
There's your bold prediction. But um, my bold hope, like my most hoped for thing, is that we finally get an entire season of DeGrom.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if I had a wish list item that wasn't a straight Yankees homer pick, then I think that might be one of the first things I would reach for. Is I want to see lights out DeGrom start to finish. Because if that's what we get, then all of these predictions change, all of them.
They very well could. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So
My other one, and I've been saying this for a few weeks now, that I think that the Rockies are going to be by far the worst team in the league this year, and
you have
that
been
they
saying
could,
that, yeah.
yeah, that I think they're going to give the White Sox a run for 121. If I don't know if they'll necessarily break it, but I think they're going to come close, and it's not going to be pretty in Denver this year. So
Let's hope that's. Let's hope we don't see that.
I hope so, just for the sake of Rockies fans, because that would be awful.
Yeah. Well,
I
all
did see on
baseball.
TikTok there was there was this British guy, and he was ranking he was rating, he wasn't ranking, he was rating MLB stadiums. He's like, I don't know anything about baseball, and I guess he rates stadiums like around the world. He's been doing like football
Yeah.
stadiums and soccer stadiums in Europe and stuff. He's like, somebody said I should do baseball stadiums. I've never seen one. He's like, I don't know what it's like or anything like that. He's like, so here we go. And apparently he's a university he's a Colorado Buffaloes fan, and he's a I want to say, oh, and he's a Denver Broncos fan. He's like, so maybe by default I should just be a Rockies fan. And me and about 50 other people in the chat were like, no, no,
No,
don't do
stop.
it. Don't be a Rockies fan. So I need to follow it. But he's like, everybody says I shouldn't be a Rockies fan. So what team should I
Yeah.
cheer for?
Oh, wait. You're going to get triple the comments.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
was
might
super
just be
funny, though.
easier just to pick the Rockies because it's easier, simpler than getting drawn and quartered between every fan in the history of
Oh, yeah.
baseball.
It was a lot of Dodgers and there were some Cubs. Mostly like obviously the big markets just because of the presence that they have. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was really funny though. It was really fun. But
that's really funny.
anywho, all right, let's get into the national TV schedule. Let's start with Friday night, like we always do. Apple TV Plus has your games every Friday this season. First, we have Baltimore at Toronto at 7:07 p.m., and then we've got the New York Mets at the Houston Astros at 8:10 p.m. All these times are Eastern. You've got your MLB TV free game of the day. So if you don't have MLB TV, you can watch one free game almost every day. They don't have one on Saturday this weekend, but most
Yeah,
days they have them. And your free game on Friday is going to be the Tigers at the Dodgers at 10:10 p.m. Curse those West Coast start times for you, Brig.
I hate it. Oh, it's so rough. Saturday, though, if you want to get on Fox at 7:15 p.m., according to your local listings, you'll either get the Mets in Houston or you'll get the Braves in San Diego. That again at 7:15 on Fox Saturday.
Fox Saturday. Okay, Sunday,
Fox.
you're going to get the Braves and the Padres again on ESPN on Sunday night at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time. And your free game of the day is the Phillies at the Nationals at 1:35 p.m. So a little bit of Sunday matinee for you for free baseball. I
Yeah,
love it.
Sunday free baseball. That's
Big fan of
always a
that.
good thing. Yeah.
Our series to watch. That's the last thing we're going to get you before we get out of here. And these are brought to you by SeatGeek, by the way. If we were going to games this weekend, these are the games that we would go to, and we would use SeatGeek to get our tickets. You can too. This has been a while since I've done this read, Brig. You can too by heading to SeatGeek.com and using code Baseball Together to save $20 on your first order. Again, that's Baseball Together, one word, at SeatGeek.com to get your tickets to the biggest games this weekend and anytime or any sport, anywhere. Baseball Together at SeatGeek.com. SeatGeek, by the way, is the official ticket marketplace of MLB. So, what series are you keeping an eye on? Series are you keeping an eye on this weekend, Brig?
You know I'm watching the Yankees play the Brew Crew. Like
Of
I'm just gonna
course.
keep that going. Currently, the Dodgers are up 5-4 on the Tigers. It's the top of the ninth, but that's a much closer game than I thought it would be. So I will be watching that a little more closely than I thought I would want to or need to. Um, the Blue Jays pummeled or got pummeled by the Birds today. The Orioles just 12 to
Yeah, they
2.
did.
So I won't be watching that. But I will. I
You want to
do
watch
think
the
it's
Battle of the
interesting.
Birds, Brig?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Cubs D-backs. That's an interesting one. A's Mariners, both interest points for me. That's going to be great. And the Astros beat the Mets. So
Yeah.
I'll be scoreboard watching that one.
Yeah. So, the big ones for me, I keep an eye on the Yankees, honestly, just because you're a fan. Like,
Much
Like
grass.
I check in on my friends' teams always, and it's just
Yeah,
something that I do.
I
So I
do
keep an
too.
eye on the Yankees. I keep an eye on Cleveland's baseball club as well. But specifically this weekend, obviously the Mariners and the A's. I'm intrigued by the A's this year. I really am. I saw them play live and I during spring training, and I know it's spring training, but like top to bottom of that lineup, I was like, okay, yeah, okay, all
Mm-hmm.
right. Whereas last year it was like, get Rooker out and you're fine, right? But this year it's kind of like
Yeah,
these some of these
yes.
guys have made some improvements.
Yeah,
Uh,
something's different.
yeah, there's a little something different going on there, so they're going to be intriguing to watch, and I want to watch them in that minor league stadium. That'll be interesting. D-backs and Cubs, that'll be fascinating. And another big one for me is going to be the Red Sox and the Rangers
Mm-hmm.
because the Rangers have been getting a lot of love this year already.
Yep.
And so, obviously, as a division rival, I will be tracking, but also it's
Yep.
kind of like, am I missing something? Because a piece of me feels like the year they won the World Series, it clicked a year earlier than what you had said, Brig. You said it was going to be last year. Instead, it was 2 years ago they won the World Series, right? So
Yep.
something clicked a year early, and then it all fell apart last year.
Yep.
And I got to watch it with like a second row seat as a fan of a division rival. So I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
keeping a close eye on the Rangers this year to see if things can improve, stay the same as they did last year, or what's going on there. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Makes
And
pennies.
also I gotta keep an eye on my AL pennant pick as well. So
Yeah, you do.
I'll be there. But anyway, baseball family, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review everywhere that you can. Send us your meaningless predictions. Drop them down in the chat. Send us an email, baseballtogetherpod@gmail.com. We will share them on the show because that would be fun to do. Um, but yeah, everywhere you can, like, subscribe, especially YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube right now and you have not hit the like button, go ahead and hit that, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not, so you don't miss anything. We're going to be coming at you. We're going to be dropping during the season. We'll be going Tuesday, and then we'll have our live episode every Thursday night, and then we'll be dropping another episode on Sundays as well. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going 3 times a week. We're hitting the season hard this year, Brig. Hitting it
Ooh.
hard.
Yeah.
So, the
Yes, we
baseball
are.
family, with that, we will catch you at the next episode.